Everybody, making this quick little video once again, doing a study in Revelation chapter 10. And the reason I'm making this video is for folks who have never read the book of Revelation for themselves, Christians out there that might be a little skeptical or scared to sit down and fully want to understand the book of Revelations. I'm making this study for you to let you know that God has given the beginning, the middle, and the end. He's given it to us all to understand what's going to happen. He's promised it. It's like a check. He's given us a check that you can cash. And let it know that the funds are good. But here I'm going to go ahead and read in the book of Revelations chapter 10 here, and I'm reading out of this Revelations study guide by John MacArthur right there. It's kind of where I'm getting a lot of this information from, but I definitely encourage everybody to read on their own, study all the different translations that are available out there. I use a Bible Gateway a lot, for a lot of different translations. It's pretty cool. But let me read Revelations 10 right here, just verses 1 through 11. It's real quick, and then we'll come down and mention a couple things. So this is the New King James Version. All right, so it starts off verse 1. It says, "I saw still another mighty angel coming down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was on his head. His face was like a sun, and his feet like pillars of fire. He had a little book open in his hand, and he set his right foot on the sea and his left foot on the land, and cried with a loud voice as when a lion roars. When he cried out, 7 thunders uttered their voices. Now when the 7 thunders uttered their voices, I was about to write, but I heard a voice from heaven saying to me, Seal up the things which the 7 thunders uttered, and do not write them. The angel whom I saw standing on the sea and on the land raised up his hand to heaven and swore by him who lived forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that are in it, the earth and the things that are in it, and the sea and the things that are in it, and there should be delay no longer. But in the days of the sounding of the 7th angel, when he's about to sound, the mystery of God will be finished, as he declared to his servants the prophets. Then the voice which I heard from heaven spoke to me again and said, Go, take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel who sits on the sea and on the earth. So I went to the angel and said to him, Give me the little book. And he said to me, Take it and eat it, and it will make your stomach bitter, but it will be as sweet as honey in your mouth. Then I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it, and it was as sweet as honey in my mouth, but when I had eaten it, my stomach became bitter. And lastly, verse 11, and he said to me, You must prophesy again about many people, nations, tongues, and kings. All right, so that's Revelation chapter 10. So if you saw a little first video I made on this a couple weeks ago, I really emphasized this angel that's being shown here. And I'll read it again here, that this is a mighty angel. This angel has been given power, and it is sitting on both the sea and the earth together. So it's a pretty mighty angel to be able to do all that in one fell swoop. And he gives John this little book to swallow, and just tells him that this book is going to be sweet, but it's going to also be bitter at the same time. And that we understand is God's word. It's what I'm reading right now. It's good to hear. It's great. But when it gets down into your stomach, and you really start to chew on it and live it out on a daily basis, you understand how bitter it can be. There's a lot of sin in this world, and that's kind of what, the bitterness is about. Understanding that, God has allowed, the enemy, Satan, to have this time to run amok and do what he does best, which is going against what God has created, his sovereignness. So going on with that, I just wanted to mention here that, it's kind of ironic that John, who this vision is being given to, is on an island right now. When he's writing this, he's exiled from the rest of the world, and he's basically sent to Patmos to die. And that was what they expected to happen from him. But, he obviously had a mission to take care of, and he did it very well, in which he gave us, the words. This vision was given to John, and John couldn't tell anybody on the island because he's sitting there by himself, but instead he wrote it down, and here we are reading this, in the 21st century and before, when this, information has came out. But the biggest thing is that John, the vision is telling John to go prophesy, and, he's writing this stuff down and he's giving it to us, and me and you are the ones that are supposed to be prophesying this word. That's kind of why I'm making this video, so that way we can hear this, and read it for ourselves and study it for ourselves, because God has given it all to us. He's let us know the beginning and the end, and he's, just told us what's going to happen. So, we can either be dumb and say, oh, this is a fairy tale, it's never going to happen, this and that, or we can believe it and bank on it and spread the word like Jesus has told us to do, make disciples go throughout the nation, preaching, and making disciples to preachers more, and just spreading this word of the good word of what Jesus has done for us, So I just want to throw those things out there, because you need to know who wrote this book and when it was written and why it was written. And just don't take it from your preacher. Go out there and read the word, study it for yourself, get a good understanding for it. And, the book says right here, that, the mystery of God will be finished, so this is the mystery of God. We're living in the mystery of God right now. But he's, even though it is a mystery, we don't understand all of it. We're never going to understand it all until God allows it to be, told, to be understood in its fullness. But, he's given us bits and pieces of it so that we're not lost and we're not walking around this world, wondering what's going to happen next,